Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Director of the National Museum of Women in the Arts, Susan Sterling.
Good evening. On behalf of NIMWA founder Wilhelmina Cole Holliday, Board President Martha DePel, and Board Member Mary Moshari, who is one of this evening's co-chairs, it is my privilege to welcome you to the 40th Anniversary Young Concert Artists Gala in honor of Gilan, Tocco, Corm. I think we'll be doing a lot of that this evening. Looking out at the assembled, I am happy to say that our organizations have many friends in common. But this evening, we celebrate a most special friend, Gilan, who, for over 20 years, has served as artistic director of the museum's Shenson Concert Series and is board chair of Young Concert Artists of Washington. Gilan, when I visited Mrs. Holliday this afternoon, she asked me to give you her warmest congratulations on this well-deserved honor and a kiss, which she did like this. In a very real way, tonight's celebration here is so appropriate because it is a celebration of women in the arts. More than 150 women artists have been helped by YCA in its history, including two we'll hear from tonight. Gilan, a pianist and tireless champion of the arts, and Susan Wadsworth, a great woman in the arts herself, who conceived of and created Young Concert Artists in 1961 and is still such an important part . 58 years later. We are delighted that numerous YCA artists have performed at the museum over the years, including the young violinist Soo Bin Lee, who made her acclaimed debut right here at the museum 3 years ago in the Young Concert Artist Series. And we look forward to hearing pianist Anne-Marie McDermott next year in the museum's Shenson concerts. We are so pleased that all of you are here with us tonight in the Great Hall for this very special event. And now it is my pleasure to introduce this evening's gala chairs, Dee Dee Cutler, Mary Moshari, Jenny Meyerberg, and Aniko Galshat. Aniko, I happily turn the podium over to you.
Good evening. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, and dear friends. On behalf of my co-chairman, I'd like to welcome you all, and it is indeed a great honor and distinct pleasure to introduce a woman who really needs no introduction. Her Majesty, former Empress of Iran. Welcome. Her Majesty's achievement and contributions are many, but perhaps the most important is her commitment to art and culture. For it was during her time in Iran that Iran became very widely known for collections of art, beautiful collections of art. If you don't know exactly where she came from, she was educated as an architect in Paris, and more importantly, it was the architect of vision for her beloved Iran that propelled her to do so many wonderful things in Iran's development of culture. She established museums all over the country. She traveled the world to find the best collections and filled the museums with these treasures. From the great classics to masterpieces from the Qajar period, from impressionists to modern to contemporary, she collected them, the best pieces, ceramics, paintings, carpets, bronzes. It was all to enrich Iran's cultural importance. Therefore, she was, is, and will always be known as the Grand Ambassador of Culture of Iran. So, Your Majesty, we are delighted to have you here with us to celebrate yet another landmark in culture, the 40th anniversary of Young Concert Artists of Washington, and with it to honor our most beloved, wonderful, talented, and respected expatriate, Gilan Tocco, concert pianist extraordinaire. Gilan, you so deserve this honor. And if I may, Your Majesty, if I may have your attention for a minute, and would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much, first, for your very kind words. It's very kind of you. Dear Gilan, I'm really delighted to be here tonight in this wonderful cultural place on the occasion of the honor bestowed upon you by the Young Concert Artists. On behalf of all your friends here and myself, I congratulate you and wish you continuous success. For the music, I want to say that I attach a lot of importance for music. Iranians in general love music. I don't want to be political, but I must say that when this regime came to Iran, they forbid music, and Iranians were practicing on the ground. But now they are full of musicians. Of course, women cannot sing in front of men, but folkloric music and everything. And I must say that music has been very important in my life, especially during the difficult period of exile. It has helped me some way. And, you know, to go back, I have been away from my country for 40 years now. We have the anniversary with the Young Concert Artists. Maybe it's a good omen. It's a good sign. And the best way I can go back to my country is when I listen to music. I go to villages, I meet people, I see the nature. It's really the only way I feel that I'm going back to Iran. And I wish a lot of success to young concert artists. And I know how music is important in the world. It makes cultures and people and nations closer together. Thank you very much, and I'm sure you will have a wonderful evening.
My name is Mary Moshari, and it is a great privilege to be able to praise and honor my best friend in this very public forum. When Gilan moved to Washington in 1985, she immediately began making friends and encouraging them to attend concerts. Shortly thereafter, YCA alum and her good friend, Jean-Yves Thibaudet, and Susan Wadsworth, our legendary founder, invited her to join the board of this amazing organization. I remember the first time Gilan inspired me to purchase a table for a benefit. It was 25 years ago at the old Russian embassy on 16th Street. The audience was seated in a beautiful salon, and Mark approached the stage and announced with great authority that at that very spot where he was standing, once stood Tchaikovsky. Everyone gasped with delight. Thus, Gilan started the effort to recruit her friends and other music aficionados to help grow the Washington Board. Her commitment to advancing the careers of musicians goes way beyond young concert artists. The reason we are here in this gorgeous museum space tonight is because Gilan is the artistic director of the Shenson Music Series here at Nîmes. This amazing woman, who is loving and loyal and fluent in 5 languages that span the world, has extraordinary depth and energy. And I must mention her contagious and enchanting laugh. And you will learn much more about her in the video which we are about to present. Thank you. The film clip that you just saw is a portion of a documentary named Gilan by Behrouz Jamali. Behrouz, would you please stand up?
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Meyerberg. I am one of the co-chairs, and I think I have the funnest job of the night because I get to introduce a surprise. Gilan's melodic laughter brings music to our ears. Gilan's transforming concerts were on the verge of tears. How we adore our talented and darling friend with warm toasts and hearty cheers, celebrating many magical and musical years. But this tribute is expanding. The audience is commanding. Congratulations to our dear. Gilan is sadly missing. More great admirers wishing that they too had traveled here. A magnificent surprise right before our very eyes. Familiar faces from so near and perhaps abroad. So wonderful tonight that they may be in sight to show appreciation and applaud. This is your surprise.
I wish I could be with all of you tonight to celebrate the young concert artists of Washington, and most of all, to pay tribute to Gilan, our dear friend and our inspiration. I've dressed myself up in order to address you all tonight, but I'll be far away in Europe when you get this. Gilan and I could almost count, yes, we can count the decades we know each other on one hand, but very soon it's going to be getting to a very, very significant number. All of those years, I have never known Gilan not to be remarkably consistent in her good nature, her wonderful spirited soul, which brings light into every room I have ever been into. She is funny, and my first memory of her is making us all laugh throughout an entire evening. And today she is still that radiant, intelligent, witty individual that she's always been. And I'm very happy to celebrate her and celebrate all of you tonight with my very, very, very best wishes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Vera Wilson, founder and president of Astral Artists in Philadelphia, from where I send you sunny greetings for this wonderful evening. I wish to send best wishes to YCA on its 40th anniversary in Washington, and very special personal wishes to Gilan as the guest of honor. YCA and the National Museum of Women in the Arts are two extremely important organizations nationally, and I wish you both a very, very wonderful evening in celebration of this event.
Hello everybody, I am Jean-Eflamme Bavouzet. I'm a former YCA artist. The absolutely best competition there is in the musical world, and to my humble opinion, the only musically totally valid musical competition. And I'm very happy to wish Gillan all the very best for her wonderful work she has done for YCA during the last 30 years, and with all my very, very best wishes for the coming new year. Have a nice celebration.
Hi Gillan, it's Leonard, talking to you from Shanghai. I wanted to take this occasion to congratulate you on this momentous milestone. 40 years, YCA, with all the other things you've done that have been so incredible for musicians, artists, and just people. It seems like I've known you forever. Somehow, the first time we met, we connected immediately, and that friendship has lasted right through today. I miss you very much, not being able to see you in either Washington or even in Florida. Maybe next time you can come here to China. All my love.
Dear Gilan, we would have so wanted to celebrate this wonderful occasion with you, but unfortunately it was impossible. So instead, we are sending you this little message, and we want to commend you on your tireless and passionate work on behalf of the arts in general, but especially YCA and the many talented young people who this has helped arrive at where they were going. So thank you so much, and enjoy this occasion. With much love, Miriam and Paul.
Hello, Gilan. I've known you over 3 decades, and I've always wondered at your enthusiasm and wonderful love that you bring to music. It surprised me to know that you were the chairman of the board of Young Concert Artists. I didn't know that. But of course it makes perfect sense, because your devotion to music and your love for music and your incredible taste all come to bear on this wonderful profession. Thank you so much for all you're doing and all you've done, and have a wonderful evening.
Gillan, I would love to wish you congratulations and best wishes, and I wish I could be there to celebrate with you, but I'm going to be running off to the stage, actually, and playing a little Elvis, so congratulations.
Gilan, would you please come up here? I'd like to present you with the award. Are you satisfied?
Except for the
Gilan, on behalf of YCA Young Concert Artists, the National Museum of Women in the Arts, and all of your friends and followers in this room, I'm happy to present you with this award.
Your Majesty, dear family and friends, please bear with me, this is an emotional moment. This generous tribute is especially overwhelming because YCA is so dear to me, and I feel privileged to be part of this great organization. Young Concert Artists has succeeded brilliantly in developing the careers of promising young musicians, and my life is so much the richer because I was given the opportunity to serve on this board. There are so many individuals who deserve this honor with me. The hardworking people who have served on our board and those who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes in administration, and of course, the incredibly gifted musicians who have given us so much joy over the years. I must feel not only pride, but a deep sense of gratitude to all, and especially to you, dear Susan, our founder, who has made this all possible. Your Majesty, you have been part of my musical life since the days I performed for you and His Majesty the Shah in Iran. The grace and dignity with which you have faced adversity are a model for us all. Thank you for your gracious participation and for honoring us with your presence here tonight. I am overwhelmed by the generous support of all who are here, and especially grateful to my many friends who have traveled such long distances to be with us. To my dear friends Mary, Aniko, Didi, Jenny, and of course Mark, who worked so hard to make this celebration happen, I give my heartfelt thanks and deep appreciation. I must also express my thanks to Susan Sterling for offering us this magnificent museum for a gala this evening. And my admiration to Behruz Jamali for the documentary clip you just saw, even though it didn't work quite well. Also, heartfelt thanks to Piano Craft and Sean Tyrrell for generously providing the Steingräber piano you will be enjoying later. Lastly, I'm delighted to tell you that among the guests here tonight are my two beloved grandsons, Carrie and Casey. With gratitude to all who have supported me so generously, and with great pleasure, I humbly accept this honor. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I am Dee Dee Cutler, and I am the last of the 4 chairs to speak, so I'm going to make it very brief. None of us would be here tonight if it weren't for Susan Wadsworth. With her patience, persistence, creativity, and love of music, she founded Young Concert Artists in 1961. She produced her first concert in New York in a little Armenian restaurant. And now it's in this beautiful museum. As Young Concert Artists grew, she expanded it to Washington. And Gilan Corm, our honoree tonight, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Young Concert Artists in Washington, D.C. So join us in celebrating, congratulating everything that Susan Wadsworth has done. Please join me in giving her a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you, Gilan. I'm very touched. Good evening, Your Majesty, dear honoree Gilan, 4 fabulous co-chairmen, precious members of our board of directors, generous patrons of Young Concert Artists, and my incomparable colleagues. Every expression of love and admiration that has been said tonight for Gilan is absolutely accurate, and I can only extol her even more. I asked Gilan to join the board when it was just formed in 1988, and how could I imagine what a great idea that was? The tremendous success of Young Concert Artists of Washington is fully attributed to Gilan and the glorious galaxy of friends she brought to us. Each one of us here is inspired by Gilan's joie de vivre and her enthusiasm for music brought to life by a new generation and the joy of helping them along. Tonight is by far the largest Washington benefit attendance ever, with over more than 100 guests more than usual, to pay tribute to our great chairman of the board and beloved friend Gilan, and to celebrate Young Concert Artists of Washington's 40th anniversary. In the program book, you can have a look through the 40 years of the Young Concert Artists to see the artists we've presented over the years. People ask, how do we find the artists? Well, to make a long story short, the artists are found through international auditions. They come from everywhere to play for us, and we hear hundreds every year. Any number can win. It's not like a competition where pianists are vying against each other. We hear all instruments and voice, and we're just looking for that magic spark. This has been a joyous career for me, and as you may know, as of July 1, a charming and brilliant young YCA alumnus composer, Daniel Kellogg, will succeed me as YCA's new president. But I will continue with YCA as a consultant, and I will be with you through every event next season. And I just want to introduce Daniel Kellogg Would you stand up? I think we look forward to working together during the transition period. In 1979, the director of the Kennedy Center, Martin Feinstein, invited young concert artists to be among the inaugural presentations in the Terrace Theater, where we have happily remained. On the occasion of the 10th anniversary in 1988, we formed our board of directors in Washington, and 4 of the original board members are still major forces on the board and are with us tonight, and I want to recognize them. Anne McLean, Jean Michler-Fix, Dottie Wexler, and of course, Gilan. Will you stand? I want to introduce the artists who are graciously performing for us tonight. Pianist Anne-Marie McDermott made her Kennedy Center debut in the 5th Young Concert Artist Series, and now is a star. She is playing with 2 artists who are new on the Young Concert Artist roster. The violinist Subin Lee made her stellar debut just 2 years ago, and cellist Sladimir Fung made his acclaimed debut earlier this month. We chose the Mendelssohn Trio they are playing because it is a favorite of Gilan's. And the beautiful Starngraber piano has been contributed because of Gilan by Sean Terrell and Piano Craft. I thank you all for your participation with Young Concert Artists and being here for our spoken and musical tribute to Gilan. I personally want to say that Gilan is one of the noblest, most joyous, and giving people on this earth, whom it is a privilege and honor to know and to have for so many decades as a true friend. And now, music by 3 YCA artists as part of the tribute.